I have another day trader challenge for you. In this one, I'm calling it the 2-for-1 challenge, and I'll explain the rules here in just a moment. Why am I doing it? Because I'm curious about the data. If I'm brutally honest with myself, someone that's traded for almost 20 years now, I've always operated with some assumptions that I don't know if they're actually true. And, so I want to just put that to the test, share the data with you, and give you an insight into some data. And if it just blows up in my face, that's okay. It'll cost me $1,500. And I'll be okay with that. But who knows, maybe I learned some things, maybe you learned some things along the way, and that's fantastic. I mean, there's always some areas of the market that you can expand into and potentially help, iron sharpen iron. And with the data collection that I've really gotten into from the challenge I did a few weeks ago, it's pretty fun. I am a former engineer, so I kind of like data, I kind of like that sort of stuff. And I will be once again using TraderView to collect the data, to analyze the data. I'll put a link down below if you want to learn more about them. And there's also a special deal that they're offering. But like I said, I want to do this out of my curiosity's sake and just to kind of test myself. Have I been making false assumptions over these years? Now, I'm also going to give you a prediction at the end of the video, so we'll see how that plays out. But like I said, I have had some assumptions, and based on those assumptions, I'm going to make a certain prediction, and we'll see how that plays out. But let's go into the rules that I hope prove me wrong. I hope I have my eyes open and say, oh, yeah, so your assumptions in this regard, yeah, that they were either wrong or they weren't as good as what they thought they were. So let's go through the rules here. So I mentioned this number already, but my max loss overall is going to be $1,500, and then my maximum loss on a daily basis will be $250. Now, my logic behind this is I want to force myself to be very selective with my trades. So in other words, I'm going to have one trade. I'm going to have one chance because I plan on doing 50-cent stop losses. And then I will do, on 500 shares. So if I'm wrong, that's a $250 loss. Now, what do I mean with a 2-to-1? And I'll get that here in a moment, but just broadly, whatever I am risking, I need to make 2 of those risk units. So if I'm risking, like I just said, 50 cents, my risk unit is 50 cents. So my R is 50. So if I want 2R, in other words, double it, well then 50 cents times 2 would be, I would need $1 in my favor. So in other words, from a broader standpoint, I'm risking $250 to try to make $500, if not even slightly more. So just to wrap that up right there, you can see my price target is 2R minimum. And I say minimum because if the chart is looking a certain way and I think I can get even a little bit more than that, then I'm gonna take more than that. But the big difference here and what I'm really wanting to put to the test is when I do hit 2R or slightly more, when I exit the position, the percent of the position I am getting rid of is 100%. So I plan on doing 500 shares. So in other words, when I get to 2R or below or above, if I'm going long or short, then when I exit, I'm all out. I'm not going to let anything run. I'm not going to keep a portion just in case the trade keeps going in my favor. I'm not going to do any of that. Maybe you're thinking, Clay, that's really stupid. And I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'll get to that later on in the video. But like I said, that's going to be what I'm interested in is what happens if I just go for 2R or maybe slightly more and I just get all out. I just take it all at that point in time. What would that look like? But let's wrap up the final rules. And then when 1R is hit, I'm going to move my stop loss to break even. I'd hate to have a trade move in my favor, 1R, and then have it go all the way against me where it ends up being a $250 loss. So at that point, I'd rather just take a break even. And then at that point, maybe go give myself another chance at another trade. And then the time limit is 60 minutes. I'm not looking to be glued to my computer all day long. I'll give myself an hour every morning. So as far as my prediction based on the assumption that, as I alluded earlier, might be false or flawed a little bit, is I think it's better to take profits as it goes, right? So maybe when you get to 1R, or 1.5, or maybe even just a half of R, to take off a small portion, to just scale out as it goes in your favor, because you never know when the thing can snap back against you. And that's what, for those of you that have watched my live trade videos, that's what I do. I like, as it starts to come down, I'll pull off a little bit more, and that's what I've always done. And then, yeah, I've had some that go to 2R and below, and then at that point, I let them work, and, I have some nice trades. But like I said, that's my assumption is, yeah, it's just take some off as you go. Take some off as you go. Lock in profits as you go. And maybe that's what you do, and I'm not saying it's wrong, because like I said, that's literally what I do. But this is where the curiosity comes. But what would the results look like if I didn't do any of that? So as far as my prediction, I think at best, this will be a very, very choppy result. I really hope I don't go 0 for 6 because I have 6 trades. If I have $1,500 and I can lose $250 per, that gives me 6 trades. So I really hope that I don't go 0 for 6. Some members of the community were saying that this is probably a very tricky, very difficult market to do this challenge, and I'm not going to disagree with them because yeah, it's kind of choppy. But my prediction is choppy in the sense of I can see these trades get down to 1R and maybe 1.5R, and then consolidate and go back up against me, and then they take me out, and I could be sitting there saying, and maybe you'd be saying the same thing, to which I would agree, you could at least locked in some of those gains when you're in the green. And then you ended up taking a loss when you could have had some green down at those levels, to which I agree. So I think that's going to be a problem. I think there's going to be those situations where it gets close to 2R, close to 2R, close to 2R, and then turns around. And because of the rules, I'm not allowed to take anything until I get down to those levels. Then I think I'm going to leave green on the table. But that's where I'm very curious, because maybe I don't leave green on the table. Maybe by letting it go further, and then just getting all out, or further than 2R and then getting all out, maybe that can counterbalance those times where I don't do that. Where you take green, but you're also lessening your position size. So if it is a big winner, you don't get as big of a winner because there's always give and take in the market. That's what makes this very curiosity inducing on my part. So let me know, what do you think? What do you think the results will be? I am starting the trading today, and I say there will be a 1-day delay. So today's trading, which is Wednesday, will be posted on Thursday, because when we did the challenge previously, it got a little hectic to have to get everything out that same exact day. But hopefully everybody, and if you watch this video, then you'll know there's a 1-day delay. So again, today is Wednesday morning as I'm recording this. And last night I did a webinar with premium members and was asking them about this. 89%, I took a poll, were like, yeah, I'd be interested in that. That was, it's kind of a quickly developing thing, but it's always been on my mind. But I thought, am I crazy? So I talked to members and they gave me, no, that sounds interesting. We'll see what happens with it. But there will be the 1-day delay. So that's how it'll work moving forward, and we'll see what happens. But I'm very curious. What are your, like I said, my predictions are choppy at best. I think there's going to be too many of those that don't get down and then they go against me, and I'll be sitting there saying, that could have been a green trade. But because I wanted that 2R, the gain just completely disappeared. That's my prediction, is that choppy at best. I don't even think. I don't even know if I'll be green. That's how kind of skeptical I am of this. But wouldn't it be awesome? Wouldn't it be amazing if I was really green? But I should also note that even if I'm really green or I completely blow up, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, because from a statistical standpoint, we're looking at a sample size of like 5 or 6 trades. So I also want to get that out, that will I can continue to collect data? Maybe from this one. But like I said, I just wanted to kind of just get a ballpark idea and see where this, where these guardrails seem to be headed, and we'll see what happens with it. So like I said, let me know your predictions down below, and we'll see how things turn out. And like I said, day number 1 of the challenge will be posted on Thursday, and hopefully it's a day where I hit that $2 and I'm sitting at $500, but we'll see what happens. So like I said, let me know your predictions. If you're excited for it, hit the like button. And like I said, leave your comments down below. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only 1 losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up, as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.